right. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Kind Hearts Media, another interview. Kind of a spur of the moment. It's just that he was awake and then a lot of stuff in the works. But anyway, a really dope-ass local comedian in Pittsburgh. Mark Shimket's really funny dude.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Okay, so a little context. I think we first met at that one, like, North something Township bar, and then you said, like, that's where I first performed in Pittsburgh, and that's where you remember me, I think?
Yeah, I think I first saw you at Perrytown Draft House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because he told me, he was like, oh, there's an Asian guy who like did the same joke, you know, with long hair. I was like, someone's stealing my jokes already? And he made me feel like, I was like, because imitation is the best form. Anyway, it was a funny story about it, but it was me the whole time. Anyway, but yeah, Mark, what's going on with you, man? Welcome to the show, and like, yeah, what's been going on with you?
Nothing really, just doing stand-up when I can.
So, tell them about yourself, Mark. What's your 20-second elevator pitch?
20-second elevator pitch? I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I do whatever I can that I find interesting, and I try to get as good at it as I can. And yeah, now that's stand-up, so.
What are some of the other things that you've dabbled on? He's really humble. I'm like, he's totally so funny when the camera's on. I could gas him up, but yeah. What? Yeah, tell them, and then I'll like gas it up more.
I don't know. When I was in college, I got into acting, so I don't know. When I was in college, I was trying to do a physics major, but then I ended up doing computer science, and then I realized I really enjoyed to perform, so I got really into acting. And I studied that for like 2 years, and then it culminated in an opportunity that I got to go to New York to study at the Stella Adler Studio of Acting for their summer conservatory program. And that was just basically a program that gave you all the tools you would need to be a professional actor if you could utilize them effectively. So it was basically their 3-year program condensed to a summer, which is obviously hard to do. So there's a lot of information that I'm sure I didn't get, but it was super valuable and useful.
So you wanted to start up acting? How'd you end up getting stand-up comedy?
So actually, the way I started performing in general was I was walking to a dining hall with one of my buddies in college, and I was like, I always wanted to do stand-up comedy. And he was like, why don't you? And I was like, you're right, why don't I? So I put together 10 minutes, or what I thought was 10 minutes of material, and invited a bunch of people to my house, and I did stand-up for them. And that went well, it was cool, but that led me to go to an open mic that was on my college campus. That was just a general open mic, it wasn't just for comedy. And I met some other guy who was doing comedy, and that led me to do improv, or to get on the improv troupe in my school. And then that led me into auditioning for my first play, which I got a lead role in. And then that like showed me that acting's pretty interesting as well. Because I mean, acting is just like understanding people and how we as people work, and that fascinates me, so that's why I think I'm into that.
Yeah, I would always say, so acting, it's like performing. Stand-up comedy is acting, right? Essentially, yeah. But it's like,
I don't know about that, but
you don't think it's acting?
Not at all, man. What do you mean? I mean, maybe for some people.
I mean, it's performing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like it's like you being real, but then like you having to go enter that space of you, and then like bring that out of you on stage, on command.
Yeah, but like acting, one of my favorite analogies for it is that you get like a script, and that script is a series of words, and so it's like a train. Like the actor is the train itself, but the lines of the script are the rails. And so
that's dope.
Yeah, so you're just trying to like make sense of what the rails are. And so I feel like with comedy, that's why I wouldn't call it acting, because it is you.
Yeah.
But acting is like, dude, you under a different set of circumstances.
So you are the rails, yeah.
No, you're the train.
Yeah, you're the train, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, in that analogy,
yeah. But, so I'm like, dude, I was a big fan of Inside the Actor Studio. I've like watched so many of those.
I don't know what that is.
You never watched?
I'm severely uncultured for like the things I get into. Like it's like real bad.
Dude, so like I don't even know the host. I forgot the host name. But he interviewed Dave Chappelle, like Natalie Portman, and like a whole bunch of other actors that I'm like drawing blanks on right now.
Oh, cool.
But then and then they go deep into their process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then like Well, for anyway, this is a really dope and deep show. I think Robin Williams, he was on it. He was just like improv, and he was just like killing it. Like he did for like 10 minutes of shit.
Yeah, Robin Williams seems like a really interesting anomaly in history.
Yeah, him and Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. I like Jim Carrey too.
Jim Carrey seems like an awesome weirdo.
Yeah,
Definitely a troubled human.
yeah. I mean, what was think about Jim Carrey about me? Like, cause we were watching his, like, you know, as kids we watched it, growing up in the '90s, and then like, with the Ace Ventura stuff. And as a kid, like, he's so animated, and like you just think it's normal. But then when you get older, you're like, oh, that's completely not normal. So he was like performing like crazy in a way that no one else can perform.
Well, no, that was what was weird is that he would sit there when he was a kid and just stare in a mirror and figure out what he could do with his face because he had no friends. Like, yeah, like he was broken. Like, it's like, I don't know what trauma he had, but he utilized it well and figured it out in his own way, his own right. You ever see the documentary of him doing Andy Kaufman?
I heard about it. Like,
that's interesting.
Oh yeah, that seemed really interesting. I should watch it.
It's real dumb. There's a point in it where like it's ridiculous. So the entire documentary is about him channeling Andy Kaufman to become Andy Kaufman. And there's a point in the documentary where they have him talk to Andy Kaufman's real daughter, and then his daughter's like, it was like he was my dad, or channeling my dad. I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know. It was really funny to me. She's like, it's so real. And it's like, no, it's just Jim Carrey being a weirdo. I don't know.
That's crazy. Interesting.
He's also he believes that he channeled like Andy Kaufman. Like, I think there was a point where he said from a point forward where he was on a beach to the end of the production that he was just a vessel for like Andy Kaufman's essence, which I don't know. I can understand that that's a possibility, but it's definitely odd because he was kind of an asshole to everyone on set. Like, that's what that movie's about, is like, oh, we have to undergo hell to experience greatness, but I don't know. I don't know if that's really the case. Not a lot of prop guns really need to get thrown around if they don't need to.
It's so interesting. Okay, so I love Mark. Like, he is so insightful. And it's so funny. Okay, shout out Izzy. Like, because Izzy was saying the same thing. He's like, oh yeah, Mark's a genius. He's like looking off into the sky. That like he like entertains an idea. Then when you'll see like him smile or something. And I was like, I'm like that's Mark. And it's like Mark is super smart. Like, you don't, dude. Talk about your comedy hustle.
What?
You said you know going to open mics. Like, which open mics do you attend?
Anyone that I can.
Yeah. So which ones have you gone to last week?
You asked me what are the open mics in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the Pittsburgh comedy scene consists of open mics that people can go to, and then people that go there put on shows and stuff. So I guess Monday you have the Getaway.
Where's that?
Run by Amanda Averill. That's in Brookline.
Is that the one that far away?
No, this is in Brookline, in South Hills of Pittsburgh, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Getaway bar.
How's that scene?
I don't know. Every open mic's just a room. It's kind of a coin flip. Maybe there's people there, maybe there's not.
Because like Willow Station, actually. Okay, so like, keep going, keep talking.
No, I mean, yes, and then Tuesdays you got Sonny's room, or it's like Sonny's Tavern.
I didn't know that. Was that the one around the Level Up, like Penn Ave?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, around there. So that's nice. That's one of my favorite rooms because you get 8 minutes. And
oh, you get 8 minutes? What time is that?
I think sign-ups are at 7:30-ish. Starts around 8.
And then you go to Willow Station right after?
Yeah, generally.
That's crazy. I need Tuesdays. All right, I'm gonna try to make those then. Okay, keep going. If I could hit 2 back-to-back on a day, then I would do that.
Yeah, so then Tuesdays, then there's a place called Willow Station. That's in around Mount Lebanon area. And that's a cool, interesting little spot. There's a nice dedicated group of locals that are there every week. So that's
Station,
cool.
right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Wait, it's not hosted by Joey Porter anymore?
Yeah, it's hosted by Joey Purse and Brandon Johnson.
Oh, Brandon Johnson. Okay, they said someone else.
And then Wednesday you got Classic. So every other week I run a room down in South Hills, or in Southside at Excuses Bar and Grill.
You do?
Yeah.
What time? What day?
So that's every other Wednesday. So this past Wednesday was one, so I guess 2 weeks from last Wednesday.
I can't do that. I like one Wednesday evenings are all booked. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
You're good, man. Don't worry. Open mics are just open mics. And then you got Scarpazi's in Mount Washington, which you got, man.
Yeah.
You want to go get in a fight in a bar, this guy has to kick you out. So head over to Scarpazi's and cause a ruckus. And then Thursday there's Mario's in Oakland. Now there's also the 565 room.
What time is that one?
I don't know, they all start around like 7 or 8 or something
So
like that.
which one do you hit first?
The 565 one, then to Mario's is usually the better order. Well, if you go, like Thursday's the day because you can go to 565 to Mario's to West Virginia, Wheeling. There's every other Thursday.
Adrian Ashmore?
Yeah, Adrian Ashmore got a mic over there.
Dang, you hit 3 back to... Oh, I can't do Thursdays. I can only do Mario's. Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess I can do West Virginia, too. I might start doing that from now on. All right, go on. Yeah. I'm learning.
We're really doing this? Okay.
Yeah.
Then,
yeah, I'm learning.
You're gonna learn. Okay. So then Friday you got Parkway Theater and Lounge, and Keys Rocks, and then I don't know. There was a Step Your Game Up comedy competition thing every Friday, but that
You would hit
I think
both of them?
If I
You
could.
could?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, dang.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did, and then I think that might be concluding because the next round of the Step Your Game Up comedy competition is on December 2nd.
Okay.
And so that's cool show. If anyone wants to come to that.
Yeah.
Would rec. I don't know. It'd be cool. It's like Samantha Bentley's filming some kind of like special thing. So she's super funny. So that would be cool.
My bad. Should change this thing. All right. Yeah. And then there's no on weekends, right?
Generally not. Not
So
right now.
So you hit 1, 3, 2. No. Yeah. 1, 2. So 2, 2. Which day has 3s?
Some Wednesdays.
Some
Thursdays.
So Thursday. Yeah. So for generally then, that's 5, 7. That's 9 mics. There's the only one that doesn't have 2 is Monday.
Yeah, right now.
So that's it. Yeah. So, dang, you hit 9 mics a week. That means.
If I can.
If you can, yeah. If everything goes well, so like in 5 weeks, in a month, and 1 week, you're like close to 50. So I've been doing stand-up comedy on and off over the last 3 years or 4 years, not including COVID, and I'm just at like stage 57. So like 58.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I only go I tried to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday once, but then you're like, dude, you could hit. That's crazy. I gotta start doing this. All right.
It's like it's the only way to get better. It seems like.
Yeah, I gotta do this. Never mind. Okay, I really gotta do this shit. Okay, so thank you for inspiring me. See, this is super productive for me. He makes me want to get better. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. So what do you like about stand-up comedy?
I think the coolest part of it is that it's a medium. There are other performances and everything out there, but this is just a medium of you helping or trying to like give the world laughter in whatever way you can. And I don't know, people try to make it political or whatever, but I think it's just about trying to make people laugh because everything's a shit show. Like the world, on a fundamental level. We can either accept it and have a good time, or we can be all upset about it. And a lot of the world, because of the way stuff's designed with like Facebook and algorithms and stuff, they want you to be upset at it. So I might as well take the things we're upset at and try to find interesting takes on it.
Oh yeah, just so you know, I'm like, not a lot of people knows, but I am completely removed off Facebook. They deleted my account, so.
Yeah, he started getting all anti-vax and stuff. It got weird.
Yeah.
And then
No. Okay, just to explain. I'll look. It's okay if I.
What do you mean? It's your fucking show.
No.
What are you talking about?
You're the guest.
Yeah, but you gotta run it. Like, we just talked about open mics for 5 minutes.
No. I learned, dude. I'm saying.
Now explain your anti-vax comments that got you banned on Facebook.
My stomach. I can't. Okay. I bugged on Facebook because the 8 Mile clip that I went from Instagram to YouTube, Facebook, I was talking about, it was a copyright hit. And then I've got hit with this before, but then I always claim fair use because I always do a complimentary educational post, and then I always get appealed, or I always get my appeal granted, and then so I submitted an appeal, and then they rejected it. I submitted another appeal because it was fair use, claiming educational, and then which was standard in the court of law. But then and then they just banned me. So I had to send an email directly to NBC Universal, and then like. There was another thing I was supposed to talk about. I forgot. I'm like going a million miles an hour. But yeah, I'm super busy. I'm like, oh yeah. The reason why.
On Facebook.
Oh no.
Okay.
The reason why I asked you about that, and I'm learning about that, because I can't check the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so busy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I learned it from you for This is the first time. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. And then okay, so that's actually really noble in a world full of chaos and like shitty, whatever fuck, like just shitty fuck. Just do you take it as a responsibility or do you just take it?
No, what? No. Stand-up comedy is the douchiest thing on the planet. It's like, oh yeah, let me stand up in front of you and then talk at you, and I'm gonna get you to do a thing called laughter, which no one really understands what laughter is. So it's just like, no, it's my humble duty. No, fuck you. Anyone that's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, no, it's a cool thing. I want to get better at it. That's what I'm here for, and that's pretty much it.
So, what do you find cool about it?
What do you mean? It's like, well, you can take the narcissist perspective. Is that narcissist? I don't know. You can take the perspective that some people have, where they're just like, oh, I get attention. That's not. I don't care about that really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's fun to
son of a
craft.
bitch. All right.
Wow, this guy.
My bad.
No.
My bad. I'm such a rude motherfucker.
Just kidding. No, I just find it really interesting to understand what it means to make people laugh, because it's if you get in front of a new crowd and there's certain jokes that will always work, why is that the case? And then seeing people that are headliners and professional comedians, just watching them every single time I see someone that's good, I learn so much, and it's so interesting. Like every single time. Like I recently saw Pete Lee at the Improv, and I never knew who Pete Lee was until someone brought him up. Yeah, and he just released a comedy special. I think it's on Showtime. Go watch it. It's hilarious. And he was working on a new hour, but I saw him 4 times over the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
And each performance was so different because it kind of had to be. Like I ended up seeing him on Thursday, and he was just working on new material and stuff. And then on Saturday, I saw the Late Show, or it was Friday Late Show, and the crowd was not in it at all. So he ended up doing around 30 minutes. It seemed like 30 minutes of crowd work, like 30 minutes of just like joking about random stuff. He brought an Icy Light up on the stage, and people apparently here, I guess, hate Icy Light. I don't know, but they were like, he just turned into a whole thing, and he ended up with 3 or 4 drinks on stage, and the audience was like, chug it, and he ended up drinking all the drinks on stage. And it was all just like, that's not a part of his act. He was just there to have a good time. And there was a guy that was like kind of heckling the whole time, and I was with another comedian friend of mine, named Josh, and he was like, I'm gonna fight this guy. He won't shut the fuck up. I'm gonna beat this guy. And I was like, he's like, I wish I was a fighter. I would fight this guy. And I was like, shut up. Like, it's fine.
Josh Dabo?
No, Josh Rittenauer is his name.
Oh, Rittenauer, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but this guy kept yelling, and Pete Lee, every single thing that the crowd yelled out, even if it was in the middle of a joke, he would just use it and not bring them into it, but bring what they said into it to make sure everyone's having a good time and not like cut that person down. Because for me at least, if someone's heckling or whatever during a set of mine, it's so much easier to put them down for a laugh than to raise them up for a laugh.
Yeah.
And I find that really, really interesting, because since then I've been trying to like think about it and incorporate it more, but I still shit on people instead of bringing them up when they do speak out or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see if I ever utilize that or work or get okay, like learn that skill.
Yeah,
because that's what I definitely find interesting.
For sure. Interesting. He's very analytical, if you can't tell, and like really. So who are your top 5 comedy influences?
Wow, that's tough. I don't know. I used to really love Tom Segura's stuff. I didn't enjoy his new special as much, but I want to rewatch it because I don't know, people regard it really high. But I don't know, comedians that are. The first comedian I ever really was interested in was Dan Cummins.
Nah, dude, the thing is, so I don't know the world of comedy at all.
No, Dan Cummins is I don't know, not many people didn't know who he was. He has a special on Amazon Prime. That's pretty good. So you check that out. But yeah, recently, I don't know, just all the recent people, recency bias is a huge thing. I've been really listening to and checking out Shane Gillis a lot.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis is really funny. He's doing really good takes on stuff. There's I don't know, there's the greats, Louis C.K. is amazing, Dave Chappelle's great, or phenomenal, Patrice O'Neal's phenomenal.
No, I like Patrice, yeah.
Yeah, there's just, I don't know, the stable people, Bill Burr, these
Yeah,
people
Bill.
you have to respect and understand this is what they do and this is how they got there and this is why they're so good is that they train these skills. Bill Burr is very open about how bad he was in the beginning and how just growth is what got him, dedication and growth is possible. And that's, I think, the hardest thing to see is growth as people because we are ourselves every day, but people see you 6 months later and they're like, oh, you look different, you look like a different person or whatever, whether that's, I don't know, there's so many things you could do that would make people feel that way.
Yeah.
And so it's this kind of, I don't know, if you call it art, I guess comedy is an art to a degree, but with this art, like any other art, the artist can't see their progression as much, but the people that are around do enjoy it, do, and that's a weird thing to experience.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't know, top 5. Yeah, that idea of I have this idea, or something that I've been wrapping my head around recently is that just in any art form, once you hit a certain level, you are just that type of artist. I wouldn't call myself a comedian right now. I'm not anywhere near. Yeah, you can do that, but I would not as personal thing. Cause
Damn, I have such low standards that I was like,
for sure, no, 100%.
I'm gonna go to 50 and then I'll call myself a comedian.
No, you're crazy. I don't think you can call yourself a comedian until you are passed at clubs at the very least.
Oh, so the thing is, is comic a different level? Because someone told me, oh, you already went up before. You're a comedian.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, calling someone a comedian in open mic or something is different. I mean, to a degree. But I would never be oh, hey guys, I'm a comedian. I'm not. I'm not close
no,
yet.
yeah.
I'm working on learning how to do comedy. But
yeah. I tell people I perform stand-up comedy. I'm not a comedian. Yeah, that's what I say. I think I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
But
if
either
I said
way,
I'm a comedian, then I'm an imposter.
But either way, the thing I was trying to get at is once you hit a certain threshold of okay, these are all the comedians that are out there. If you write books, once you become an author, or you've learned how to write a book and executed on that, you can write 100 books, and you might die, and someone figures out, oh shit, this person actually had something to say after you die. That's happened throughout history, especially with authors. I think to a degree, not necessarily you might discover a comedian after they die, but some people don't know who Patrice O'Neal is, and they can go back and look and say, oh, this guy was monumental in a circle for a reason, and his comedy's really great for a particular reason. And so once you get to a level of being a comedian, then it's just about being the best you can be, and then everyone that's around that, I feel is what is there. So all these people that are greats, they're all just comedians, and there's so many comedians that we don't know about, and there's so many comedians that so it's just the more people I meet, the more interesting and the more things I discover. So that aspect of top 5 is really hard for me, at least, because there's great comedians and there's mediocre comedians and there's terrible comedians.
So there's top 5s within each class. It's classes.
I mean, if you want to throw a top 5 or whatever, but it's again,
no,
they're all so different. Someone, you know who Ian Bagg is?
I don't.
There's this guy named Ian Bagg. Ian Bagg is all oriented around crowd work. He'll do an entire theater show that's all around crowd work, and it's phenomenal. It's really, really interesting. It's a very unique type of show. But I would say he's a comedian, but him as a comedian is so different than someone that just tells stories, the story-driven comedian. They're just so fundamentally different in the way it's executed that skill sets of a comedian can be so vast and different, and so to compare them, it's really, really tough. And so that idea of top 5 or whatever, it just gets weird in my mind.
All right.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, well then what other? So you're Here, you're like big into movies. Then, what are your top 5 movies?
Oh man, I'm not really that big into.
Oh,
Like I said, I'm
you're
uncultured. Well, that's the thing. I'm uncultured in whatever I did. Like whenever I got into acting, I just was like, oh, I'm gonna go audition for a play, and they were like, oh, here you go, and I was like, okay, let me figure out how to do this, and I was like, oh, and I just started applying stuff and figured it out. But there's like when I got into theater role, people are like, oh, you know this play or that or whatever, and I'm like, I got nothing for you. Like it's real awkward. Like when I got into comedy, I didn't know who Patrice O'Neal was.
Oh, I can understand that.
Yeah, and so it's just like figuring that out and diving into it.
Do you what kind of music do you listen to? Do you like music, or do you think music?
Nah, dude, music sucks. Why would you ever express yourself via instruments and singing?
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, thanks, asshole, for making me feel stupid. I meant, do you like? I don't know why I'm trying to sound more sophisticated than I am. So, what music do you like?
I enjoy everything. Really, I used to say I enjoy everything but metal and country. Because growing up,
That's like
my mom was into country, my dad was into like 70s music, and that's all we listened to.
what kind of 70s music?
I don't know, like Chicago, like Saturday in the Park,
Chicago's more like 80s, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like America, like Sandman, like I don't know, just fun. But I found out I heard Basket Case by Green Day in 8th grade, and that was the first like modern music I heard, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Yeah, but. Yeah, I really enjoy rap music.
Who do you like?
Oh man, see, I drove over here in the car and I was like, man, if I talk about rap music, I gotta figure out like how to talk about it because I'm just like nervous. No, I don't know, man. Like,
in other words,
obviously all the great.
I feel like extremely white now.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. Like I am like the whitest dude. Like it's bad. I was really into the first rap music I ever listened to was the Flowbots. You know, they do like I can ride my bike with no handlebars. Like, you never heard that song?
Maybe I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine. It's just that was like a big thing when I was in like high school or middle school or whatever that is. But I listened to their album front to back, and that was the first like experience I had with the idea of rhythm and poetry, like poetry being used to portray a message and stuff like that. Because that a lot of people know that song from the Flowbots, but there's an album on there. Or there's a song on there that's like about specifically a woman who was trying to like fight for civil rights in the South, and they like throw her in jail, and it's like there's like conversation between her and like the people or whatever. And when I was a kid, I was like, this is so insightful and like interesting. But it made me realize like, oh, like efficient word use can portray so much information that it's like beautiful, and that's what I love about rap music. So
really well put, man.
Yeah.
Efficient use of words.
That's why whenever I went to college, when I was in college, I used to not enjoy Kendrick Lamar because I was I didn't understand it at all. And then so like as I slowly got into rap music and understood more and more what things meant and all that stuff, like I couldn't listen to T-Pap, but then I listened to Section 80, then Damn, then Good Kid, Mad City, and then at the end I listened to T-Pap last, and I understood T-Pap way more, and I like enjoyed it like fundamentally as I like discovered what it meant and what Kendrick Lamar like was trying to do with each album and stuff. And it was like just it's every single time. I love listening to albums from like beginning to end. I'm not a big fan of like one-off songs.
One-off song. I'm a one-off song.
Yeah, I just love the message because like the piece of work that they go put out there, like it's curated, like they put it there for a reason, and it's interesting to see that reason. And like songs that in like album that are back to back, like they flow together in a weird way. Like it's fun because like I'll hear one-off songs, and as the song ends, I'll be thinking of the next song that's about to play in my head, and I'll be like, oh man, it doesn't come next, and I'm like, this is lame. No.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting, huh? That's interesting. So like, it's like reading a chapter and then like not knowing the next. I don't know. Never mind. That's bad analogy. Sorry. Like that.
No, I think it's like you look at like a comedian, you see a comedy special, like they have jokes in a line, and you can use subsections of a 60-minute special to create a tight 5 or a tight 10, but the ebbs and flows that they create are purposeful so that the jokes do hit harder at different points, because you can't just be murdering the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's, like you can, I guess, but.
I never even thought about it that way. The way you described it, I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. Yeah. How much worth of material do you think you have? How many minutes worth?
I would say probably about 6 to 8, maybe.
Gotcha. Like of all the things you did.
Of like my best shit. Like if someone was like, "Can you do a solid 5?" I would say, in my naive brain, yes, right now, yeah. But I think I could do a good 10.
Yeah, I think you could do 10. I think you could easily do 10. So what do you think the weakest part of your comedy game is then?
The weakest part of my comedy game?
The room for most improvement. Which aspect of comedy? Could it be crowd work?
Yeah, I've been trying to work on crowd work more recently because.
Do you think it's necessary to work on other aspects of it, or no?
Necessary is a strong word. I mean, there's people that do comedy that don't seem to use. I don't know. I haven't seen enough comedy to really know fully yet, but I know it seems like in the past people could get really good at one thing, and they would not necessarily need to do the other thing. Like for Bo Burnham, like comedy just seems like if you can sell a theater out and you can put on a show that people want to come and see you do either the same show again or another show with new material. That's all you really need to do. So like Bo Burnham, whenever he got big on YouTube, you're familiar with Bo Burnham? Yeah. So like, yeah, and when he got big on YouTube, I mean, he jumped. He never did like open mics. Like he just started doing clubs and theaters and stuff with the songs that he had. And his special and everything is super curated. Like I feel like you go and see a comedian 5 times, their act's going to be slightly different. Maybe not with words, but something like the pace. Like something's going to be different night to night. But with like Bo Burnham, every single thing is so specific. Like I would say that's more of like an acting thing than anything else. And he talked about actually having full on panic attacks and anxiety attacks like during his set when he would do it, because and that's like the thing is it's so curated that the audience could have no idea that the person on the inside is freaking out because you're just doing this crazy like fake thing. And that's interesting. Is that was where I feel like the heart, it's not genuine, and that's what's weird about Bo Burnham for me is that like I went and saw him live when I was in high school, and I got to like kind of do like a meet and greet thing afterwards. I took a photo with him, and that's like the only photo I think I'm ever gonna take with anyone famous ever. But I took a photo with him, and it was weird because I could tell whatever for the meet and greet, he put on like this like facade front that was just like smile, cool handshake, and then go, but it was like not real at all. Yeah. And that weirded me out, and it made me like kind of be like, I never really want to be that or do that in whatever I end up doing, performing wise.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you what advice do you have to people trying to become like aspiring comedians?
Don't.
Just aspiring comedians in general.
To what?
What advice do you have to people aspiring to young
to
get better at comedy?
Do it for you. I mean, like, I don't know. It's
first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, I said don't. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's a horrific journey. It's a horrific journey. Yeah, like it's gonna be shit for a long time. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm brand new to all this. Like it's kind of BS for me to even have any sort of opinion of any sort because I've been only doing it for less than a year, like consistently. But it's like I've seen people get burned out in my small amount of time that I've been a part of it, and I hope I don't get burned out. But that's a thing that could, in theory, happen. I want to ride this all the way to the end, but I'm also understanding that that's 10 years. Like, I'm going to be garbage for a long time. Yeah. And that my perception of what is good is going to keep changing. Yeah. And I feel like the biggest thing is if you surround yourself with people that you know are better than you. Like, that are really good. It's like, yeah, you are like the people you keep, I guess. So
that's actually really dope advice.
Yeah.
Dropping gems of wisdom, baby. There you go. Oh, that Mark Shimkins, baby. There you go. You know what he do? All right. You said, hold on, wait. How much? Oh, we have about like 10 minutes. What's the funny story of like? What's the funniest story of bombing? You bombing?
Me bombing?
If there is one.
If there's one, no.
He never bombs.
Yeah, no. This one time, There's a room called Scarpazi's that I mentioned that's on Wednesdays.
That I secured, yeah.
And that place that's like a beautiful place because it is either, you never know what's going to happen, which is like a powerful thing. Like sometimes you'll go out there and there's nobody paying attention and everyone's loud and having their own conversations. And that's where, okay, in my mind, what grinds my gears, I'd say, is when people go out and they're like at a mic or something and they're like, hey everybody shut up and listen to me, and like they quiet out the room and make everyone look at them. I feel like that's like the worst thing to ever do, because you need to have the best joke of all time afterwards to like interrupt everybody's night and be like, yeah, your human experience, all you individuals that are just as unique and with their own life like as yourself, like that's something that messes with my mind, is that like you or me or like anyone driving outside or whatever, they all have just as unique and special as lives as like it's just, we're all people. And to silence everyone's night and then be like, I'm going to tell you a crappy joke is just insane to me. Like, it's the craziest thing on the planet. So, I mean,
he's like, that's full-blown malignant narcissism.
So one night I go out and I'm like, I get up on stage and there's a bunch, and the room is just that. Like, everybody is in their own thing. So I try to go from like group of people to group of people to try to do some crowd work. And I end up asking some guy what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And he just gave me a horrific answer. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was on the lines of like, let's talk about abortion or like something like that. Like, it's just not funny things to talk about. And at that moment, I just was like disheveled and broken. And I was like, I'm never going to, first off, this is going terribly. And I just need to like ride out the time and get out of here. And two, I'm never going to ask someone, what do they want to talk about? Like, again, and that's something that like, I don't know, that's where people talk about like this idea of like comedy classes and like teaching people things and stuff. And that's where I understand that like the argument that comedy classes are dumb is real, because someone could tell you 100 times, don't ask the crowd like that question, but until you go out there and do it and be like, oh shit, that's not the play, then like I will never internally have that reaction to do that, because I learned that lesson. And that's what I feel like open mics are, is like going and eating shit and learning all the lessons you need to learn so that you don't do that when the time matters from a consistency standpoint. And that's what's interesting, is that there's Joey Diaz had said on a podcast once that you will always be an open micer in whatever city you start out in. And it's like hard to rise up the ranks in that. And I totally get that, because everyone saw you at your worst, learn all those things. But I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how long it'll take before I ever start to feel like open mics are a waste of time or anything like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. I like that. What do you, in all the things that you've experienced, what do you think is, what advice would you give to someone to achieve peace?
To achieve peace?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what?
I asked a couple people this question.
Okay, peace.
No, I'm shitting on my question. All right,
I'm not shitting on your question.
We can go to the next one.
No, I'm not shitting on your question. It's just like, hey man, solve peace. I don't know.
No, to have peace. I mean,
yeah, each person's peace is horrific. Like, I don't know. I grew up fat. Like, kids were like, "Hey, you're fat." I was like, "Okay, cool." And like, I found peace in that, to be like, I don't care. But like, I don't know. People go through horrendous shit in life. Like, I know someone that like, yeah, I don't know. There's so many things that are like horrible. Like, if you witness, like, if you're just on the street and you see someone get stabbed, that's a thing that just exists in your brain that fucks with your peace and your moment of existing. So like, I don't know, go see a therapist. That's probably my way to I would recommend people should deal with peace. Like, be aware of your thoughts, minds, and goals, and then
self-awareness.
Yeah.
Know yourself.
I guess. Yeah.
If we wanted this to make it succinct, like fortune cookie wisdom, that's what it says. Know yourself.
Dude, what do you? I mean, like, we all need peace.
He's just
shitting. No, there's no such thing as peace, man. What? I don't know. Ever since Western civilization took over, we don't got peace at all.
Do you think I'm funny?
Do I think you're funny?
You can be completely honest.
Maybe.
I think I fucking suck.
That one joke's funny.
Which one? Oh yeah.
The dog and
the
girlfriend thing. Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
He likes dark shit.
No, that's just a great correlation. It's like, I love the stuff that's like on the line.
Yeah.
That's the, yeah, like the line. It's my favorite thing. I've watched Shane Gillis' new special probably 4 times at this
Dang,
point.
it makes me want to watch it now.
Dude, you should. It's on YouTube. It's free. It's
Oh,
phenomenal.
okay.
But like I think what's so interesting, the entire special is him dancing the line of like, this is kind of messed up, and then it's like, but it's cool because I realize like he has no stake in it. Like he has jokes about like Trump or like that kind of thing, or Fox News dads. That's like one of his things. Totally, yeah. I don't want to say anything or whatever, but all the bits, he's not trying to make anyone upset. Like it's all about laughter. Like there's a certain point where he brings up a subject and people are like, yeah, and he's like, nope, that's not the tone I'm going for. Like, oh, Pete, no. And he calls it out, and even though it's just a little thing and it's like a kind of a laugh, like it's a tool. Like he was like, no, I'm setting this vibe, I'm setting this mood, and I'm doing it the right way. Like that's what blows my mind about that special, is that it's just he's just so good at making the room what he wants to do for his jokes, and it's super interesting to watch. Granted, it's a curated thing, and he was in Pittsburgh, and I saw him on like a Sunday show, and I didn't enjoy it as much, but it was like because it was a different show, it was a different experience. So it's really interesting, at least for me, to see it in person and then have a different perspective on it after watching the special and everything too, just because of the room standpoint and that day and that kind of thing. But yeah.
Huh. You man, you just got me thinking. Like, my thoughts are all jumbled. If it's an obvious. Do you read?
Not really. It's kind of bad. I got really into Alex Honnold for a bit. I got to do some rock climbing, and Alex Honnold's the dude that climbed the big wall in Yosemite without a rope. Yeah, that lunatic. I was like reading his book, and whenever I pick up a book, my immediate thought is like, wow, books are just the most effective way to transmit information into the brain. But then I don't know, I don't read. Like when I start to read, I love it and I do it, but then it's just like the act of starting.
What did you like about that book?
Oh, I mean, the book he had is called Alone on the Wall, and it wasn't necessarily about that last excursion, but it was like basically his life is, oh yeah, my mom didn't hug me or say I love you, so I don't understand companionship, so he never made friends, so he just like was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn to do rock climbing, and because I got no friends, I'm just gonna go into the woods and climb easy shit. And he did that by himself. Like he started climbing without a rope because he had no one to climb with. And he was too nervous to go up and talk to groups to like integrate into that, to get help, like to climb with them. So he would climb in the gym. Are you familiar at all with climbing at all?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Yeah. So like, just for the people that are listening that aren't, the climbing scale, an easy climb, like the easiest climb is 5.6, and outside like a hard climb is like 5.11. So he could climb 5.11s at the gym that he goes to. So he would go outside and climb a 5.6 or a 5.7 without a rope because he shouldn't fall. But he went and learned how to do that, which is crazy. So it's interesting because it's him writing it. So it's his thoughts on that, why he did that, and he can kind of extrapolate a lot and learn a lot about what it takes to be able to do those kind of things, and that's super cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, his discipline's impeccable. Like when he went and did that climb, he worked it for so long so that every single move for the 2 hours that he climbed without a rope, he has already done 100 times and knows all the things that could go wrong and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Alone on the Wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he and I, we discussed this. I know I'm jumping around from question to question, but I'm just trying to think. So he and I talked about this off camera, and like he and I actually had a deep conversation. I think it was deep. But what do you think are your greatest strengths?
My greatest strengths.
You said earlier,
yeah.
You said it like this.
No, yeah. I mean, well, I think it's my ability to communicate with people in person. That's
yes.
it.
If you see him perform, he's really good, and he's like, he also, it seemed like he would go up to like new people. The way he introduces himself, he's very amicable. He's very people friendly, and then like, yeah, he's just a good dude. Like he's a really good, he's a gentle-hearted dude and stuff. But we're coming up on that time. He said, wait, what the hell? Sorry, guys. Yeah. Anyway, he said, um, you said you'd freestyle, right?
Dude, I can't. Dude.
And you said you would. You said you would have scarves. I was like, I want to interview you, and he's just like, I was like, I'll do it. Fuck it.
Oh man, dude. See, I thought about that. No one wants this. Nobody.
Nobody.
Not a single person wants to know.
No.
It's horrific. No, it is the like.
Dude, if you do it with an audience, who gives a fuck what they think? Dude, I don't give a fuck, dude. Okay, this is what I always do. Anyway, okay, we're gonna freestyle. Let's freestyle. If you're gonna hate me after this, then is it gonna cost?
No,
us
you're good.
Is it gonna cost us our friendship?
Maybe. Well, yeah, dude. I don't know. Me and freestyle, like it's hard because I connect and then feel it, and then it just never.
No.
Never.
Yeah, then I'll pick it up. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll do this. Let's go hard beats. H-I. There you go.
Did you spell hard H-I?
Hold on 1 second. I have a slow beat. All right, hold on.
I think the hardest thing about all this is that I can't even begin to fathom how to do it correctly.
Okay, no, just say it. No. Hey, we're gonna learn how to do it right now. All right, you feel the beat. All right, so now just say the first thing on top of your head, and I'll finish the line. Do it, go.
I'm trying to feel the beat first. That's my initial thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
yeah.
So I know what like 4 counts are.
Okay,
but I feel like it's like there's a part of it that needs to come out of you for being like I don't know, maybe I'm too philosophical about it.
Maybe he's too philosophical about it. Yo, why don't you just talk about it? I don't even know. Yo, be quiet, don't shout it. And yo, I self-doubted. And Mark Shipkins would say the first thing off the top of your head. Yo, and then he's embarrassed, now he red. And yo, girls give him head. Best believe that because he a funny motherfucker. Yo, I'm an undercover brother. I'm just joking.
Dude, I wish that was true. Fuck. Man.
Alright, say something. You're so red right now. It's so funny. It's awesome. Dude,
it's just funny. I see you do this on your like little Instagram story, and I get to see it in real life. I'm like, oh shit.
No, you do it. Oh wait, you thought it was what's it about seeing it in person?
No, you doing the freestyle.
What, you like it?
I don't know, man. I don't know what any of it is. I don't even have. Yeah. I have no frame of reference for freestyle, dude. Yeah.
No frame of okay. I'm sorry. No. Say something. And within the 4 counts. I'm gonna teach you right now. I'm teaching him how to do it. I can teach anyone how to do freestyle. I do this with kids. Okay. No, I swear. I've been teaching kids how to do it. So say something, whatever. Say the first thing. No. Just say it. Anything. Say anything. You can say anything. It could be anything.
I want to know kids' freestyle subjects now.
He wants to know kids. Okay, so you would say, I want to know kids' freestyle subjects now. I want to know how to learn how to freestyle on the beat, and then he will be bringing heat like that. So what you do is, I want whatever is at the end of that 4 count, that rhyme. Then you're like, let's say it was like, beats.
Yeah.
And then and then you fill that up. You fill that up with whatever makes sense. I know it's like, but it's like super fast. Your brain has to like go. But then like it just takes practice. That's it.
Yeah.
You did a good job. Though. No, you did good.
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay. Hold on. Was that fun?
No.
That wasn't fun. I thought it was fun.
No. Yeah. Well, it depends on what you're referencing.
Yeah. Do you like this beat? Man, where's this beat? I'm thinking, okay, let's do this one. Mark Shipkins in the fucking house. Hey. Say whatever. So this is actually really good for stand-up comedy, I think. No. I know this is good for stand-up comedy.
Why is that?
Because of the improvisation. Like in a quick, and like changing your words up to fit something. I do that all the time. And this helps with it. Say a line.
I just blank, like I
literally just blank, and then with gratitude we give thanks. And girls like when they get spanked by him, and then they get shanked.
So I spank a girl and then kill her. That's what you just said. Cool. Yeah.
See, it doesn't even make sense. I didn't make sense. Dude, this is funny.
I just want to make sure. Okay. Cool.
See, no, I wasn't even thinking about it. I didn't, that's why freestyle's fun. All right, so we're both cracking up though. Oh, my stomach hurts. All right. Say another thing.
Am I just giving you subjects to freestyle on
if you want to, or you could try. I'm trying to work with you.
No, I get that. I appreciate that. I don't.
It's just you haven't practiced. You haven't done it enough.
Exactly.
You haven't tried it enough.
Yeah. I have to go in the booth, and
or I just
some practice.
Every time I'm driving in the car, I just put free instrumentals. I have like thousands of instrumentals. You put it on random, and then I'm like, that's my way to be productive while driving.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is that I just see so many of my friends or people I know that are like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rapper, and then they put some shit out, and I'm like, that's horrific. And then, but I mean, I'm not gonna discount them for it, but I'm like, I would never want to feel that way about me. Like if I was looking at my own, like, yeah, because I know it'd be horrible. Like, it's just.
Dude, all the fucking shit I put out was stuff I didn't give a fuck about. And I'm like, oh, this is horrific. I couldn't even look at this shit.
Yeah, I don't know why you put that out sometimes. You do you though.
That's
exactly what it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible. I don't give a fuck, bro.
I mean, we're all terrible. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do.
I'm just trying to get better. Exactly.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with showing the journey. So like.
He said nothing wrong with showing the journey. And what's the wait, Dwight Hurry? Oh wait, does that even make sense? 3-point Steph Curry. Kind of made no sense. But with the follow up? Yo, he throwing popping bottles up. And he just throwing that fucking shit back. And yes, I know my shit swag. I don't give a fuck. Oh, whatever. It's not getting better. So once you catch it, but you said you've tried it before, and you're trying to catch a beat and you can't, or what?
Yeah. About 2 weeks ago, I was with Izzy. And,
Izzy's a really dope. Shout out Izzy.
Izzy's cool as fuck. And then another guy named Doughboy, and they were trying to. We're like at Izzy's spot, Black Imperial.
Yeah. Shout out Black Imperial.
Yeah. Check that spot out. But there's like a recording studio downstairs, and we were like chilling in the recording studio playing music, and they were freestyling, and I was like, ooh, and they were like, get in, Mark, and I was like, I don't know, like it was just weird, like
now's your trying to improve again. This is your second time.
Yeah, for sure. No, I left that, and I was like, I should go and learn this, and I was like, nah, really? I should probably.
Now you're forced to do it in front of an audience. Let's go. It's gonna be fun. All right, Mark Shipkets, go. Throw a bar. And it doesn't have to be very far, because I'll still catch it and make it make sense to rhyme. And I do this shit all the time because I've done it for a long time. Mark Shipkets. Say something. It's the first thing that comes up your head.
This is really cringe. This man's kind of unhinged.
Oh! That was hard! What are you doing? What are you trying? Okay. Hey, all right, he's gonna take a piss. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. Shout out, kind hearts. Mark, you gotta say bye, Mark.
Thanks, y'all.
Oh man. It's all good. All right, we do that waterfront.